Right, so let's see how this goes. What I'm going to try and do is roll all three questions into one just dialogue, so bear with me. I was in the fire service for almost 32 years, almost. I got to the rank of senior firefighter, which was like a leading hand, I guess. Yeah, I qualified on a lot of different appliances and ended up in a really good crew. I mean, I always had good crews mostly, and some really interesting people you meet in the fire service. Very diverse bunch. But I ended up in a crew in Avondale, and I really enjoyed it. I was on a rescue tender, so we had all the jaws of life and all that stuff where we, get people out of crushed cars and all that nonsense. I really enjoyed the fire service as a whole. What I didn't like was when they started responding us to medical calls because the ambulance service couldn't cope with the load, and we started turning up or being responded to like heart attacks and respiratory alerts, and I never liked that. It wasn't really my thing. What else? I worked in telecommunications for about 8 years. I was married, had two children with my first wife, separated, met another lovely lady, had another child through IVF. There's quite a big gap, age gap between them. My oldest two are in their 30s and my youngest is 19. I have 5 grandchildren. All my family lives in New Zealand. In two of my girls live in Tauranga, and one is at university in Wellington. I really love living in Germany. I love living in Leipzig because I really like the city, but I like living in Fusen as well. Um, I'm really getting to like living on the side of the Alps. When I was young, I always wanted to live in Queenstown in New Zealand, which is in the Alps basically, and now I do. So isn't it funny how life works out? I love What I love about Germany is it's such a diverse country. It's like, everyone says, oh, how beautiful New Zealand is, but Germany is really beautiful. You guys have got a really, really pretty country, and I think it's the old saying, don't leave town till you've seen the country. And I think a lot of people think the grass is greener, but you live in one of the most amazing countries, and it's situated perfectly for anyone who likes to travel, which I do, and my girlfriend does. So we do a little bit of that. My former life in New Zealand, what do we do? We were normal Kiwis. So like in the summer, we would go to the beach a lot. We had kayaks. We would do a lot of kayak adventures. If you look back in some of my older YouTube videos, you can see some of our kayaking adventures. Me and Eva certainly embraced it. And that's much easier to do once your kids are grown up or you've separated and you've got a new life. What else? We went to the beach a lot. We travelled around. We had a caravan. We toured New Zealand with this caravan that Eva bought spontaneously and did an amazing trip of the South Island. Just a very normal Kiwi life, I think. I think the only thing not so normal about me is I don't like fishing, and Kiwis love fishing. You talk to all the guys I knew in the fire service, and that's all, on the weekend, that's where they're going fishing. It's just such an easy thing to do. Fishing and hunting, actually. New Zealanders is really into that sort of stuff. I love the German culture. I love the way you embrace your heritages. All over Germany, you have festivals for all sorts of stuff, which I just love, and some of them for a Kiwi are just absolutely bizarre. I mean, Schützenfest. How crazy is this? This is the most crazy thing I've ever heard of. Schützenfest? Men running around in uniforms with guns, drinking beer. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to a Kiwi, I tell you, but oh my god, it's such a fun thing to go and watch. Carry on being crazy, Germany. I love you, just the way you are. Don't change.